It's 4 o'clock. Good afternoon, everyone. I'll be leading this session on advertising and public relations today. We have seen a lot of presentations through the day. We watched a lot of interesting presentations from the participants and also keynote speakers. On this session, we have 5 presentations. The first presentation will be from Professor Sergio. I think he's not here, so probably we're going to watch his pre-recorded video. So when I looked at all these presentations, I thought something like digital media has become an inseparable part of advertising research and public relations research. Of course, PR and advertising practices. So when I look at all these presentations, at least 4 out of 5 presentations are somehow related with digital media. So it will be very interesting to see all these presentations from first subjects. So we will start with Professor Sergio's presentation. Can we start his video now? Can you pause for a moment? I think it's a 12 minutes long video.
Everyone.
It's 12 minutes long, so this session will be 90 minutes. Initially, the participants would have 10 minutes to talk and 5 minutes for questions, but now I know that Professor Sinem won't be here, so we can use her time. So each of you can use 15 minutes for the presentation, and we can use other 5 minutes for the questions. So let's start with the first presentation now.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. I was very happy to participate in this special event. Thank you very much. My research on the answer of the perception of the citizen of San Luis, Argentina, thought a qualitative questionnaire launched in January on their digital participation in public affairs in 2021. Faced with the pandemic and subsequent quarantines, the government of San Luis of the Information and Communication Technology made the public sector work with the idea of providing better service to citizens and increasing efficiency, transparency, and citizen participation. Not always the information disseminated in the government issues satisfies the citizens who express their disagreement in the digital activism supported by local digital media, for example. Digital citizenship is precisely the ability to participate in a positive, critical, and competent way in the digital environment, taking advantage of communication and creative skill to practice forms of social participation that respect human rights and dignity through the responsible use of technology. Since December 1983, the Rodriguez brothers have governed the small province of San Luis in Argentina. For more than 35 years, they built enormous substance powers in the Peronist party into an electoral machine that won the election. Adolfo and Alberto Rodriguez took turns in the exercise of governance based on obtaining the adherence of the citizen. A characteristic of political populism in their great capacity for symbolic inclusion, and the Rodriguez have been especially skilled in this, generally implied in "We Are San Luis." However, this inclusion is illusory since it's not true. It is probably experienced as participation by many citizens of the province, a fact that makes it difficult to think or other more active and determined forms of participation. The law 0764 of 2011 years of the province of San Luis digital agenda. San Luis Digital established that as a priority public policy of the province. Action aimed at the development of information and communication technology, such as driving force behind the progress of citizens, companies and state itself. Said action constituting its digital agenda, which is called San Luis Digital, which should be based in the following X: infrastructure, productive, education and training, legal framework, and the objective to be achieved by the digital agenda of the province are the following: guarantee the digital inclusion for all inhabitants, allow action to be developed that promote the application of new technology, reducing social and regional inequality, and improving people's quality of life. Promote technology innovation as the basis for progress. Promote the production of service and products with technology and with better basic skills in mathematics, reading, writing, science, and new technologies that allow the development of creativity and innovation through ACT. Safeguard the provincial and regional cultural heritage and of the original and ancestral people. Despite some development of action of the San Luis Digital Agenda and the commitment to extend the internet connection to more people and organizations, the truth is that in the middle of the pandemic during 2020 years, school and teachers in particular had to pay for your own internet connection. Interest in the concept of citizenship has experienced a real boom since 1990. The resurgence of the concept also has to do with the political events that have occurred in the recent decades, especially the fact of the growing apathy of voters, the resurgence of nationalist groups, growing international immigration process, ethnic and cultural difference within the state, demand of groups or sectors of society until now discriminated or excluded, and the slamming of the welfare state. Some words about the participation. Participation is a fluid and contingent concept. The use of term has resulted in all precision and meaningful content practically dispense the word participation, used by different people to refer to a wide variety of different situations. Emphasized Patterman, 1917. This conceptual contingent is explained by the fact that the concept of participation is part of a power story in society. Carpenter, 2036. We believe that the world is not single way of participation. Arnstein explained that there are different intensities of participation and not just one. Carpenter said that highlighted that there are more two main approaches to participation: a sociological approach and a political approach. The sociological approach defines participation as part of a particular social process, and the idea of participation includes many types of human interaction, in combination with interaction with text and technology. Power is not excluded from this approach, but remaining one of the many secondary concepts to support it. Methodology of our investigation. With the purpose of knowing the perception of the citizens about the public affairs of San Luis, the project Personas in Public Institutions of the National San Luis University launched a qualitative questionnaire addressed to the citizens of San Luis. The qualitative questionnaire on citizen perception of participation in public affairs was launched in the course of 2021 with the purpose of imputing data for subsequent analysis. Based on 75 responses, the city of San Luis were asked about this question. The conclusion from the response of citizens to the survey, familiar with the already small number of responses, it is perceived that citizens trust very little in the government of San Luis as in the president of Argentina, both from the same political party. In general, the role have towards the traditional institution of democracy, using Congress legislative suite. More than 80% of citizens show religious interest in politics. A confidence perceived worsen in the media. San Luis thought it could not be differentiated between media with editorial lines closer to the provincial powers and from others with other views. In these situations, the provinces perceive as regular in almost 71% with the personal situation perceived good in more than half of the response. In accordance with the little confidence that the government provided, information that is explored from government sphere addressed to citizens is considered irregular and insufficient. Citizen participation is perceived by the citizens themselves as regular and improbable. Citizens consider that the participation should be encouraged by all sectors of the legislature, citizens, and the government. Moving towards citizen participation in public affairs and likes is very difficult task due to the lack of interest that these issues have for citizens. The government, with its long-term role in the administration and management of public affairs, has increased thanks to multiple strategies as expansion of narrative and might that made a reference to San Luis Fifth Province, with foreign employment and housing for everything, as opposite to a forgotten and poor San Luis, trying to include citizens in the dreams of citizens of the two brothers. In the case of San Luis, the Rodriguez family has been special and adept at this generation of the pride of widows of San Luis as a superficial inclusion of citizens discovering participation. This initiative may involve various resistance, which may or may not be expressed openly and politically challenged when the opportunity exists or is real. Meanwhile, they work in as if they help with and we promise political fidelity if they show helping, we'll see. Awareness of this possibility of participation in public decision could promote the mobilization in search of access, interaction, and citizen participation. Today's exposed the joint civil society that expresses a civic culture of disinterest in public issues on the one hand, and on the other, and have some social dialogue and with few possibilities of participatory communication. The city of San Luis that appears as a sleepy, fractured and condition in which it is capable of resisting the epic of oil hegemonic state to produce good business instead of favoring the sector and most need society and promote growth development. Civic imagination, the last word. Imagination is not only the unique ability of humanity to visualize what is and therefore the source of invention and creation. We have the power to imagine better, and we can think about the power of imagination in two ways. We can imagine a better world that respects my right, that has empathy with the experience of others, and we can do a better job. Those things that connect us with citizens of others than those that connect us with the government. The cultural and social obligation that we have in contact with the government policy that we divide in them, and have to do with the distribution of power between the government and the citizen. Imagine American minister.
I think the video is over. Can you all hear me?
Yes, everything is fine.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So we watched Professor Sergio's presentation on digital participation in public affairs. He shared his email with us at the end of the presentation. So if you have any questions for him, you can always email him. And probably this is also recorded, so you can watch it anytime again, because there was a little bit deep sound. It was a little bit hard to understand. So you can watch it anytime later. So the second presentation will be